Today we're going to look at solving one-step equations. This really should say day one at the top, so my apologies for that. Okay, when we are solving equations at any point in time, we always want to use inverse operations. So we need to understand that addition and subtraction are inverse operations. We can undo addition with subtraction, and we can undo subtraction with addition. Addition will always look like addition, and subtraction will always look like subtraction. Multiplication and division are also inverse operations, but these look a little bit different. So multiplication can often look like nothing, or maybe parentheses. Division is going to look like a fraction. So my expectation is that every single time you are solving an equation, you are showing work, and your work needs to include a couple things. Okay, one, your work needs to include that you are identifying where that equal sign is and making a line straight down. Okay. Then we are going to identify where our variable is at, and we are going to look on the side of the equation that has our variable. And we're going to look and see what operation we see. So the operation that we see here is addition. So we're going to look up at our list. Addition has an inverse operation of subtraction. So underneath that addition, you have to write that. I need to see that you are going to inverse that addition with subtraction, and that we're going to use that same number. So instead of adding 4, we are going to subtract 4. And you need to write that on both sides of that line you made, once on each side. If I do not see that once on each side, I won't even look at the rest of your work. Okay, we know that 4 and negative 4 are inverse operations, so those cancel each other out. Whatever we did not cross out, so the x we did not cross out, so that's coming straight down. And then I'm just going to do the math. 12 minus 4 is 8, so we'll get an answer of x equals 8. So if I look at number 2, again, every single time I'm going to draw this straight line down. All right, I'm going to look on the side of the equation that my variable is on. I'm going to look at the operation. The operation is subtraction. I undo subtraction with addition. So on both sides of that bar, both sides of that line, both sides of my equal sign, I'm writing down plus 3 and plus 3. I know that those two cancel each other out. My y did not cross out, so that is coming straight down. So 5 plus 3 is 8. Okay, if we look at number 3, again, I'm going to draw my line straight down. I'm going to look on the side that my variable is on. So I'm focusing on the left, and I see this 6 and x, right? And if I look at this, I don't see an operation at all. That 6 and x are just sitting right next to each other. When we don't see an operation at all, that is multiplication. And we undo multiplication with division, right? And we said division we are going to represent as a fraction. So I'm going to use a fraction bar to represent dividing by 6. Right? No more of that like dot and a line, 2 dots and a line. We want to use a fraction bar. So these 6's undo each other. So the only thing I did not cross out was the x. I'm going to bring that x straight down. And 24 divided by 6 gives me 4. Number 4. Again, we're always drawing this line. I'm identifying the side that my variable is on. Now this side has a fraction bar. That fraction bar we said was division. So we inverse division with multiplication. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. We don't want to write multiplication as an x anymore. So I'm going to put that timesing by 3 in parentheses to the left and to the right. I'm still doing it on one side, on each side of the equal sign. Once on the left, once on the right. Right? So these cancel each other out. My w I did not cross off, so it's coming straight down. And 5 times 3 is 15. Now that's our general concept. We could have a few other small things come into play, like negative numbers, bigger numbers. They don't always have to be integer values. Right? So if we look at number 5, here's our bar. There's our variable. We see subtraction, so we're going to inverse subtraction with addition, and I'm writing that on both sides of the equal sign. Negative 5 plus 31. So if you were using a calculator, you would type into your calculator, negative 5 plus 31. And that will give us 26. Okay, so here's our bar. Here's our variable, right? I'm adding 8, so I'm going to subtract 8 to both sides. These cancel out. So my k is coming straight down. Again, this one says -2 minus 8. Not minus a -8. This is the only thing that you would type in your calculator. -2 minus 8. One subtraction sign. Which will give us a -10. All right, I'm drawing my bar, and I'm identifying my variable. When we see no operation at all means multiplication, and we undo multiplication with division. Remember, we are doing division as a fraction bar. So 17s undo each other. 51 divided by 17 will give us 3. And our last one, again, we are drawing this bar for our equal sign. I'm identifying my variable. Okay, that fraction bar is division. I'm going to undo division with multiplication, right? So I'm using parentheses for multiplication. These 18s cancel each other out, and I'll get x equals 90.